Hello, welcome to my garage. What we have here is a Honda CB550 from 1975. This particular engine experienced a cam chain tensioner failure, which resulted in some very interesting typewriter noises. There'll be a few things to go through to make it bulletproof for racing. But first things first, let's assess the damage and get cleaning. Some of the tools we're going to need. That should be enough to get started. I'm just going to go easy on her. Try to make it the best possible outcome by doing things better. Okay, so now we've got all of the screws removed from the cylinder head. We can take a dead blow hammer and a totally not a chisel and start using the proper separation points to lift the block from, or to lift the heads from the cylinder block. And that's where the dead blow comes in kind of handy. A couple of tappy taps by the strongest portion of the pins. Careful not to break any. There we are. Now that poor little Honda made typewriter noises. The valves definitely made some contact they shouldn't have, so I'm gonna guess that I probably won't be using any of the parts from inside of a cylinder head. Here we go. Cylinder head away. So this happened off camera. I wish I could blame it on my battery, but I just wasn't filming because I was jamming out the music. I'm going to remove this clutch cover now that I'm done breaking cylinder studs. Hopefully I can, with a brass drift and a dead blow. Because right here, I can catch just a little bit of that case. I didn't want to show the most graphic parts on video, but I was able to get the glue to pop with the appropriate amount of violence. And I am making an oily mess. Tragically, many of these bearings are no longer available parts. It's kind of grungy. One of the great joys of CB550 engine building is they like to be assembled upside down. I didn't want you all to miss the big reveal, but battery died and I got the clamshells apart. So I'll make it easy. Ta-da! so graceful. Since this is assembly that I don't really want in here anyway. See how I get that gear out? That I can lift up the crank. And once I have the crank apart, the real fun begins. Folks, I'm sorry. Battery died and I just trucked ahead. So now we are looking at just the crank of a 75 CB550 Honda. It's not the first time I've been into a Honda where your typical wrench just doesn't fit it. Bastard. Dang it, Honda. Made me chamfer a perfectly good socket. Alright, you're probably wondering what the hell I'm doing in here. And as you witnessed, I just deconstructed a blown up motor. So why bother? It's really simple actually. So if I take that Honda motor and I bolt it into that Yamaha frame, and then I get it a healthy dose of 110 octane, that makes it an outlaw fuel altered bike. Well, in AMA rules, it would be altered classic fuel. We'll see in just a minute if the little Honda block's gonna sit in there and have any sort of alignment issues. So let's go do that. Holy smokes, people. Ta-da! It makes me really happy to see this fit so well. I do have my suspension picked out, and when I say I picked it out, I mean I pulled some spare parts off the shelf that never belonged on this bike in the first place. So it's going to be a good bit of cutting and welding, as it should. And in the words of my my friend Jimmy, if it ain't long, it's wrong. So this is the starting point for what will become a very interesting and hopefully fast motorcycle. Basically, I'm taking a couple of crusty old blown up motorcycles and turning them into a guided missile. Thank you all. And thank you, Uncle George, for leaving behind a motorcycle that nobody wanted.